This is part 13 of jQuery tutorial. In this video, we'll discuss how to get the checked checkbox text along with the value. This is continuation to part 12, so please watch part 12 before proceeding. Here is what we want to achieve. As we check these checkboxes, we want to retrieve both the text and value. In this example, JS is the value, JavaScript is the text. So text is what we usually display to the end user, value will be stored in the DB. And here is the example that we worked with in the previous video session. Notice we have got two checkbox groups, skills and preferred cities. In our case, all these checkboxes have got the same text and value. However, in real time, that may not be the case always. The value may be different from text. And if you look at the jQuery code that we have written in the previous video session, what does this result collection contain? It contains all those checked checkboxes. And here we are using this jQuery each function to iterate over the checkboxes that are present within this result collection. And notice we are calling this here. So what is this keyword referring to? This is referring to a checkbox within that result collection. And on that element we are calling value function. What is this value function going to do? It's going to return us the value of the checkbox. Similarly, in jQuery we also have got text function, which is going to return us the text of an element. So let's use that and see if that's going to work with checkbox. So we have the value here. Now to that, let's append a dash, and then to that let's append the text of the checkbox. And to get the text of the checkbox, I'm going to call text function, and to that let's append an HTML break. So let's save these changes and let's reload this page. And look at this, when I select JavaScript, I get the value and we have a dash there, but we don't get the text that is associated with that checkbox. Okay, so basically text function is not working with that checkbox element. Okay, so let's see now how to retrieve the text. So here we have got the text. This is the text that is displayed next to this checkbox element. Okay, so to make this work, I'm actually going to put this inside a label control, and then on that label control we can call text and it's going to work. So let's take that value and let's use a label here, and let's use for attribute for that label. And I'm using this label for this checkbox. Okay, so I'm going to call it for option hyphen. I'm actually going to change the value for JavaScript checkbox to JS, and here we are going to say this is the label for option hyphen JS, and then let's paste the text that we want to display next to the checkbox. Okay, so for this checkbox the value is JS and text is JavaScript. Okay, now for this for attribute we have specified the value as option hyphen JS. You can give this any meaningful name that you want. For example, I can give it like CB hyphen JS. So this is label for checkbox JavaScript. Okay, so similarly let's do that modification for all these checkboxes. So for the jQuery checkbox, the value is going to be JQ. For C#, let's actually change it to CS. For VB, it's going to be VB. Similarly for New York, NY, New Delhi, ND, and London, let's change it to LN. And let's also include a label for every checkbox. So let's paste that there, and for these checkboxes as well. Okay, so for jQuery, this for attribute of the label is going to contain CB-JQ. For C#, it is going to be CS, and for Visual Basic, VB, and for this label, NY, New Delhi, and London. Okay, and similarly we want to change the text as well. So let's take that and put it inside this label. Similarly, let's take C# and put it here, and VB, And let's do the same thing for the other set of checkboxes. And finally London. Alright. Now, so we have a checkbox and a label. Okay, so here we are iterating through all the checkboxes that are present within that result collection. And here is that loop. So here I'm actually going to create a variable. Let's actually call this selected value equals, I'm actually going to use this. Okay, so let's cut that from there and include that. Okay, so within the result string, what we want the value of the checkbox. Okay, so that's going to be in that selected value variable, and to that we want to append the text. And where is the text present? That is present inside a label. And if you look at the for attribute value, it is cb-js for JavaScript, cb-jq for jQuery. Okay, so after dash, whatever text you have, that is equal to the value of the associated checkbox. Okay, and we already have the selected value of the checkbox. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, instead of using this keyword, what does this refers to? This refers to the checkbox that is present within this result collection. Okay, but the text now is actually present in the label control, so we want to retrieve the text from the associated label. Okay, so how are we going to find this label? We can use this jQuery selector, find all label elements where for attribute equals cb, so that's how the value is, hyphen, and then whatever is the value of the checkbox. Okay, so to that we want to concatenate the value of the checkbox. And where is the value of the checkbox present? That is present in the selected value variable, so I can use that there. So cb hyphen, if it is JavaScript checkbox, cb hyphen js, so that's going to get this label control, and the text method is going to pull out the text from that label. Okay, so cb-js for example, and then we need to close this quotation mark. So let's put a single quote there. So we need to close that double quote, and we need to close the square bracket, and finally end the single quote. Okay, and then we are calling text function. That should return us the text that is present in the associated label. Okay, so let's save these changes. And let's go ahead and reload the page. Look at this. When we select JavaScript, I get the value JS and the text JavaScript. Similarly, when we select New Delhi, so ND is the value and New Delhi is the text. Okay. And here's the HTML and the jQuery code. Thank you for listening and have a great day.